So over the next few years, there are more than 75 new cruise ships on order. Now, some of them are smaller ships, some of them are for overseas, but today we're going to go through all of the major cruise lines and even some of the luxury brands to show you what is coming down the pipe and what the capacities are, what they're all about, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. Let's go. Hey everyone, John here from Byte Size Cruises. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to talk about all of the new builds that are on order across the cruise industry. We're going to talk about some of our favorites, what we're most excited about, and we're going to go through these year by year, starting with right now. First ship we're going to talk about is Royal Caribbean Star of the Seas, just getting ready. It should be ready momentarily. Star of the Seas, $1.6 billion to build. 250,000 gross tons, that's big, and it's going to hold 5,610 passengers. All of these passenger capacities are at double occupancy, so what they are if the ship's kind of full. Now keep in mind some rooms hold 3 or 4 people, so you could actually expand that, but this is double occupancy. So super excited about Star. I love Icon. I don't love the prices, but I'm interested to see the little tweaks and things, and even more so on Legend, because that'll be the one where they actually had time to change up maybe some things. Star kind of being built almost, consecutively right after Icon, so not a whole bunch of time to reflect on things and see how they went. Not that there were a lot of changes in the Oasis class, just some like little tweaks and different things like that. So very much excited to meet Sailor, the little puppy on board. Next up, let's talk about Oceania Allura. So a little more of a luxury brand, $660 million to build it, 67,000 gross tons, and 1,200 passenger capacity. That's really nice. Oceania has a beautiful brand. Norwegian owns Oceania, if you did not know that. So if anybody's been on Oceania, please comment below. Next up, Viking Vesta. This is ready to go. The ship is good to go. So this is the kind of the first one really. $446 million, 54,000 gross tons, a capacity of under 1,000 guests at 998. The Viking ships for ocean are beautiful. A little more of an expedition class. I wouldn't say they're luxury at all. I don't really consider them to be luxury. I consider them to be more of an expedition ship. So let me know what you think. Are you interested in Viking Ocean at all? Have you sailed on Viking River? Let me know in the comments. Next up, most definitely luxury. Ritz Carlton Luminara, $350 million to build, 37,000 gross tons, very small. 456 passengers. This is what I would consider kind of ultra luxury. Fancy schmancy, some may say. I will probably never be on this ship. I don't even think they'll let me tour it. I'm too poor to tour that ship. So let me know, is anybody going on Ritz Carlton? Would you like to book Ritz Carlton through us? We would love you to book that through us. Next up, the Star Princess. Of course, the next in the class, we already have the Sun Princess. This one is $1 billion. They did make some modifications off the last class, which is very, very interesting because there were some technical things they had to change. 175,000 gross tons, pretty big for Princess there. And 4,300 passenger capacity on that one. I love Princess. AJ from our team, as you know, loves Princess so much. It's her favorite brand. I'm going on Star Princess in February. I'm very excited to go on this class of ship. I haven't been on Princess in a long time, so I am very much looking forward to that one. Next up, back to ultra luxury, the Four Seasons 1, $425 million, 20,000 gross tons. Just super, super small here, and 190 guests. Ultra, ultra, ultra luxury. If you've ever stayed at a Four Seasons, they are spectacular. There's one in Philly. They just rebuilt. Well, they didn't just rebuild it, but there used to be a Four Seasons that was a beautiful hotel. They have now added the Four Seasons to the new Comcast building. It is the top of the Comcast building, and it is unbelievable. So let me know if you're excited about the Four Seasons 1. Next up, the Celebrity Excel, coming in at $1 billion, 140,000 gross tons, and 3,260 passenger capacity at double occupancy. That's pretty interesting. I think this is, again, in that Edge class of ships, Edge Plus, whatever they're calling it. I do love that class of ships with Edge, Beyond. They are very, very, very Ascent. They're very, very, very nice ships. So have you been on one of the Celebrity Edge class ships? Perhaps Beyond with Captain Kate, who's no longer there, who has flown on to ultra luxury. Let us know. I'm looking forward to that. I was booked on the Excel and I had to change it for conflict. So next up, 2 Disney ships. Disney Adventure, the big boy, $1.8 billion. The most expensive of all the ships coming out this year. 208,000 gross tons, a little bit smaller than the Star of the Seas. Gross, the capacity, double capacity, is 6,000. It's a ton of people. I know people are really hyped up about some of these Disney ships. I would love to go on a Disney cruise. They're even more expensive than Royal Caribbean for that kind of contemporary brand. So I'm not going to be on them, I don't think, for a while, but I would love to get on a Disney ship. Next up, Disney Destiny at $900 million, 140,000 gross tons, and 2,500 passengers. That is it for 2025. Now let's get into 2026. All right, 2026, let's get into it. Norwegian Cruise Lines, Luna, $1 billion, 156,000 gross tons, total capacity of 3,571. I like the fact that they're building bigger ships that don't carry as many people. That is wonderful. I'm going on Aqua, hopefully soon, so we'll see the preview of that. I am booked on Luna as well next year, so that is super exciting. Next up, Royal Caribbean's Legend of the Seas, the third of the Icon class ships, 1.6 billion again there, 250,000 gross tons, again 5,610. I think we will see some little tweaks and changes on Legend, which should be interesting. I'm really eager to see that. Next up, the TUI Mein Schiff Flow. If you don't know what Mein Schiff means, it just means my ship. So the My Ship Flow, $850 million to build that bad boy, 161,000 gross tons, 4,000 passengers. I have never sailed on TUI. It is a kind of UK brand. I would like to go over there and try some of those, like TUI, Fred Olsen. There's a bunch of them over there, P&O. Get on some of those ships. We shall see. Now that Jay and Dan from Sail Away Mag are banned on P&O, I can go over there maybe and try one. Maybe they'll let me come over there. Maybe I'll get dispensation from the UK to come over and try it. Follow up on that story, Jay and Dan are not banned on Carnival, which is wild. They're only banned on P&O and Princess and a few other. It's very, very strange. I don't know what's going on over there. Really interesting. But I got the email from Dan this morning and saw that they were not, in fact, banned by Disney. So maybe, by Carnival. So maybe it had nothing to do with the review. Who knows? Wild stories. Next up, the Viking Mira, $501 million, 54,000 gross tons, 998 passengers. Vikings really stepping up their game here in the next few years. Explorer 3, the Explorer Journeys, is the luxury brand of MSC. 600 million, 64,000 gross tons, and 922 passengers. Does anybody want to try Explorer Journeys? I've heard they're beautiful, and I've heard it is very, very, very luxurious. Next up, Viking again with Libra. They're going to come in at 501 million on that, 54,000 gross tons, 998 passengers. MSC back in the mix with another world ship next year. World Asia, $1.2 billion, 205,000 gross tons, 5,400 passengers. And then last but not least for 2026, Regent 7 Seas Prestige at $885 million, 77,000 gross tons, and 850 passengers. So there are other ships coming out in 2026. Emerald has one coming out, the Kaya. Orient Express has one coming out, Antarctica 21. Adora and Mystic also have ships coming out. I just didn't talk about those. Those are overseas and don't really affect US, UK, Canada, South America, those type of. So next up, let's get into 2027. First up for 2027, Carnival popping out with a new ship, the Festival, which again, Dan and Jay will be allowed to go on, technically, hypothetically, we shall see. $1.2 billion, 183,000 gross tons, and 5,400 passengers. This is, of course, the next in the line of the giant Excel class ships, which are amazing. Explorer journeys with the Explorer 4, $600 million, 64,000 gross tons, 922 passengers. Again, we have Emerald coming out with another few ships here, the Raya and the Zara. Then Four Seasons coming out with the 2, 425 million, 20,000 gross tons, 190 passengers, which is crazy. Viking again coming out with another ship, the Viking Astria, 517 million, 54,000 gross tons, and 1,000 passengers. Then we have Aman, Orient Express, Mystic, Ryobi, and Aranui all coming out with ships. I don't even know those brands. That's how many cruise lines there are now. Crazy. Next up, Norwegian has not been named yet, the ship for 2027. This is fun. We're going to get into most of those now as we move out, which we don't know what those are going to be. But this is 1.3 billion, 169,000 gross tons, 3,650 passengers. Now remember, Luna was 156,000 gross tons with 3,500 passengers. So they're going up a little bit on all of these ships, like about 10%. And they're adding another, 10,000 or so gross tons and another 100 people, to the ship. So it's a really nice balance there of getting larger a little bit without going too crazy, but not adding a ton of passengers either, which I love. Off to MSC Cruises with the next in the world class, the World Atlantic, 1.2 billion, 205,000 gross tons, 5,400 passengers. All the same. My feelings on those ships are they're probably going to be very, 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 very similar. World Europa and World America, there was a big chunk of time between those, so there are some differences. Same pretty much bones and framework, but very different approach to things. Same with World Asia, so it's going to be interesting to see World Atlantic. So next up is Explora 5, 600 million, 70,000 gross tons, 922 passengers. And then we'll round it out with 3 more, Oceania, unnamed, 980 million, 86,000 gross tons, 1,450 passengers. Royal Caribbean, waiting to hear the name of the next one there for the Icon class. 1.6 billion, 250,000 gross tons, the same, 5,610 passengers. And then Disney unnamed, 1.3 billion, 105,000 gross tons, and 3,000 passengers. That is 2027. It's going to get slimmer as we move out, but still a ton of ships coming out. We have Disney unnamed, 900 billion, 140,000 gross tons, 2,500 passenger capacity. Only 2 of the ships in 2028 actually have names. First up is the Carnival Tropical, 1.2 billion, 183,000 gross tons, 5,400 passengers. Carnival really pushing out some larger ships now, which is very, very interesting to me. Explorer 6, same 600 million, 70,000 gross tons, 922 capacity. Royal Caribbean has another ship coming out. This looks like an Oasis class ship. This is probably the last of the Oasis class, or maybe there's one more. 1.5 billion, 231,000 gross tons, 5,714 capacity. Norwegian, again, unnamed, 1.3 billion, 169,000, so same as the last one, and 3,650. Viking Ocean has 2 ships coming out in 2028, both of them 517 million, 54,000 gross tons, 1,000 passengers. And Celebrity, unnamed, 1.2 billion, 140,000 gross tons, 3,200 passengers. Here we go, 2029. How crazy is this? 2029, that is 4 years away. Carnival, unnamed, 1.7 billion. These are the big boys that they're building. 230,000 gross tons, almost as big as the Oasis and Icon class, 6,200 capacity. Disney, 1.3 billion, 105,000 gross tons, 3,000 capacity. Viking Ocean, again, same exact size, 517 million, 54,000, and 998 passengers. Oceania, 980 million, 86,000 gross tons, 1,400 passengers. Regent Seven Seas, 885 77,000 gross tons and 850 passengers. And then MSC, the next in the line coming out, $1.2 billion, 205,000 gross tons, 5,400 passengers. Next up, 2030, we have Ada, Crystal, and Marella all coming out with ships. Again, they don't really apply too much to us here, so I'll go right to Norwegian. Here comes the big boys for Norwegian. Norwegian, unnamed, 1.8 billion, 225,000 gross tons. That is a massive ship for Norwegian. 5,100 passengers. That'll be the biggest Norwegian ship ever. It'll be like the 6th biggest ship in the world. Maybe 10th biggest ship in the world because of, maybe not, maybe top 20. Because of Oasis at that point is going to have 8, I think 7 or 8. Icon will have 4 ships at least. So, and then the big Disney ones. So yeah, somewhere in the top 15. Disney, 1.3 billion, 105,000 gross tons, 3,000 passengers. Viking Ocean, 2 more. They are pumping out the ships. All the same size, 517 million, 54,000 gross tons, 998 passengers. And then last but not least, another one for MSC. 1.2 billion, 205,000 gross tons, 5,400 capacity. Hopefully one of those ships is going to come up to Brooklyn because we need some new blood up in Brooklyn. Let's go to 2031, only a few, but guess who has 2 ships coming out that year? Viking Ocean, same size, $517 million to build, 54,000 gross tons, 998 capacity. They are just putting ships everywhere. Carnival, another one of the big boys, 1.7 billion, 230,000 gross tons, 6,200 passengers. And then Disney with their 1.3 billion, 105,000 gross tons, 3,200 capacity. You're seeing Carnival and Disney really pumping out some ships now as we move forward. Disney really jumping into the game here. 2032, only one big name ship right now is Norwegian. Same 1.8 billion, the giant 225,000 gross tons with 5,100 capacity. The same in 2032. They're putting out another one of those ships. Just wild. 2033, Carnival putting out one of their big boys, 1.7 billion, 230,000 gross tons, 6,200 passengers. And then Norwegian, another one in 2034, same size. Norwegian, another one in 2036, same size. That is all of the ships coming out right now. That is a ton of ships, just a ton of ships coming out. So if you're keeping track in the next 11 years here, Norwegian has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships coming out in the next 11 years. Oceania, which is also owned by them, has 3 ships coming out. Regent, also owned by them, 2 ships coming out. If we go over to MSC, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships coming out in the next 10, 11 years. And Explorer has 4 ships coming out. So this is an arms race at this point for cruise ship berths. Royal Caribbean, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm sure we're going to hear about more. Wink, wink, Discovery Class. Celebrity has 2. TUI, also owned by them, 2. Next up, Carnival Corporation has Princess, just 1 ship on order right now, just the Star Princess. I'm sure there will be more there. Carnival has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships coming out. Ada, which also owned by them, has 2. Those are all the ships coming out that are on order in the next 11 years. As of right now, who knows what's going to happen as we move forward. Let us know, what are you most excited about in the comments below? Are you excited for the bigger ships? Or are you excited for maybe some of those Viking smaller ships? Let us know. We hope you have a great day. Happy cruising, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.